What is fibromyalgia? Hi, I'm Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com and founder of Yoga for the Chronic Life virtual yoga studio. It is my jam to help you manage chronic symptoms and use accessible yoga to get the side benefits which help us with our chronic symptoms. We are asking the big questions at the moment. So today, what is fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia is a chronic pain-based illness of unknown origin and cure. So that means we don't know exactly what causes it and we don't have a cure yet. It affects approximately 3 to 6% of the world's population, and it affects far more women than men, but there are definitely men who suffer with it as well. It appears indiscriminatory in race, education level, and socioeconomic demographics, meaning it can hit pretty much anyone. I've struggled with this illness for actually most of my life. I've put in a lot of work to my wellness journey. In 2017, I was the most well that I had been since I was 17 years old. In 2021, I am the most well I can ever remember being, and I have 4 children in lockdown, and the youngest baby has not slept in his entire 8 months for more than a couple of hours because he has reflux. So that's saying something. But this doesn't mean that I'm not affected 24/7. I have it as well managed as possible. But this gives you a sense of the pervasiveness of this illness. If someone with mild fibromyalgia is impacted all day, every day, from a mild to moderate scale, can you imagine what it's like when it's severe? When it's severe, it impacts everything all day. So it's a pretty hardcore illness to manage. So what are the symptoms of fibromyalgia? So on the University of Maryland Medical Center website, fibromyalgia is explained in this way. It is a chronic condition characterized by pain in the muscles, ligaments, and tendons, fatigue, and multiple tender points on the body. On the same page, they list the signs and symptoms. So we're talking widespread pain and stiffness, fatigue and trouble sleeping, paresthesia, which is tingling, irritable bowel syndrome, skin sensitivity, heightened sensitivity to noises, bright lights, and smells, depression, headaches, migraine, pain after exertion, memory lapses or difficulty concentrating, restless leg syndrome, dizziness, anxiety, and hemorrhoids. I don't even know how hemorrhoids got on that list. But anyway, not everybody will have all of those symptoms, and there are a lot of other symptoms that kind of come to the party as well, because when your body is fighting something like lack of sleep and constant pain and constant fatigue, of course your other symptoms, your other systems are affected. So the trouble is, like I've just said, is that fibromyalgia is unique to each person. So how it comes on, what symptoms are present, and what helps us. And that is the tricky thing. So what helps me might not necessarily help you. And that's what makes it really tricky to treat right now. There's also a lot of debate as to whether trigger points are present in fibromyalgia or part of a separate issue called myofascial pain syndrome. And a lot of those conditions above overlap with a lot of different conditions. So what causes fibromyalgia? They don't really know. It is an illness with a long history and many theories, and it's been called by different names over the years. For some, it's brought on by trauma, like an illness or prolonged stress or pregnancy. And for others, it just kind of creeps up, and for some, it just starts, boom, you're sick. So they don't really know a lot about it, but they are doing a lot of research, and a lot of clever people are researching it. So I have a lot of hope. Now, research has found alterations in neurotransmitter regulation, immune system function, sleep physiology, and hormone level control. A lot of research suggests that fibromyalgia is the result of central nervous system dysfunction, especially an overactive nervous system, which stresses and exhausts the brain. Now, I 100% resonate with this. My nervous system is like the top level thing that kind of manages it all. And so I've noticed that they really work together, the symptoms and the overall noise of the nervous system. So those things like sensitivity to noise and lights and sounds, that's about being oversensitized and the central nervous system being too on. Again, anxiety, that's the nervous system just being in fight and flight mode too much. And that's why I love yoga and why I think yoga has helped me quite a lot. Through doing yoga nidra for many years, I have managed to bring down my nervous system and really help keep it down. And when I can't sleep, I do yoga nidra. When I'm feeling like overwhelmed, I just go to bed, put on my eye mask and do my yoga nidra, and it really makes a big difference. So I do believe that that central nervous system is a really important part of it, but there is a lot of research going on and we will find answers. I believe there are answers coming. Now, is fibromyalgia an autoimmune disease? There's a lot of conflicting information around this. Some suggest there is, and there is a lot more reading you can do about it. The main argument appears to be around whether or not it causes inflammation. New research is linking fibromyalgia to neuroinflammation or inflammation of the brain, and this is what low-dose naltrexone helps with, and why a subset of people, including myself, have had amazing results. But the typical understanding of autoimmune disease is that it's your own immune system attacking your own body, which I think is why there's been a bit of a hold up in figuring that out. So watch this space basically is the answer to that one. Now, so we touched on diagnosis last week. Now, it's not a quick process. For a lot of us, it takes a really long time to be diagnosed because it's a bit of a wastebasket illness. So the main thing that they're doing is seeing that we fit some subjective symptoms. And so that's like experiencing chronic, ongoing, widespread pain for more than 3 months. But there's also things that they have to count out. So they have to do tests to rule out things like lupus and other things like that. So you can see that it could take a time to figure it out. And it is also a diagnosis of mimicking. So it looks like other things, and misdiagnosis, again, it looks like other things. And also we just get plain ignored. My journey was very long because I had many doctors who basically implied I was making it up for the very characteristic symptoms of fibromyalgia, the fact that the pain changed and the intensity changed. So it's a big, big thing, and I don't think you can talk to many fibromyalgia fighters without them having a really sad story about getting diagnosed. Not many people get on it fast and get help fast. I hope this is changing, but this is a lot of our experiences. So does diagnosis even make a difference? Again, it depends what your doctor's willing to do once you get a word, right? So when I received the diagnosis, I received no extra help. However, once I got the word and I got a little bit further along in my journey, I realized that I had the power to start researching and looking for things myself and using that word, so using the word fibromyalgia or chronic pain or chronic fatigue or insomnia or myofascial pain syndrome, chronic trigger points, I was able to slowly research each bit, and that's how I've managed to get where I am now. But it's really hard because often once you get a fibromyalgia diagnosis, that's it. Everything kind of gets thrown into that basket, and I had that over and over again. Things were discounted just because I had fibromyalgia, and not everything was. So for example, I was continually coming up against the issue that there was a physiological thing happening in my neck. There was physical things going on, and it was restricting mobility, and it was very different to all of the other pain. And physical treatments and ibuprofen helped, which they said doesn't help fibromyalgia, because in fibromyalgia there's no physical cause, and there shouldn't be abnormalities, and anti-inflammatories are not meant to help. Well, it was myofascial pain syndrome. So they kind of go together. They are illnesses that seem to live together at times. I definitely feel the central sensitization of fibromyalgia made the myofascial pain syndrome worse, but also being ignored and undertreated for many, many years made it so that it is now chronic. So can fibromyalgia go away? Is there a cure? I'm sorry, but there is no cure yet. They call it incurable, but I see pretty smart people working on it, and we've had some really good answers coming out. I have my theories over what will happen, but I believe we will see progress soon. But in the meantime, there are a multitude of treatment options on offer. Some of them help a little, some of them help a lot, and some help one person a lot and another person a little, and therein lies the difficulty. I've been sharing my journey for the past several years because I want to help you cut down the time it takes to get what helps you. So I have researched and trialed and written about what I have tried and researched in case it can help you. Because we're so different and we have other comorbid disorders, those illnesses that coexist, and our context and our lifestyle are a big part of it, there is no way to guarantee an outcome. But I believe we can change our quality of life. My quality of life has just soared since I have started really working on this. So I wouldn't have created more than 300 blog posts on melissaversusfibromyalgia.com, and I wouldn't be sharing this with you right now if I didn't believe that with all my heart and want that for you with all my heart. So we've got to be willing to try things, and we have to believe that we can improve our quality of life. And I know that gets hard when we get our hopes dashed and the doctors don't even know what to do to help us, and we just keep hitting what we feel like are brick walls. But if you choose one thing, just one, and start today, then choose another thing and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Now, I have a free mini course, You versus Fibromyalgia, which will take you through 6 lessons to help you get started in your journey. So if that's something you need, I'll leave a link for you to be able to access that. Now let's go on to fibromyalgia treatments. Now I've got loads and loads of posts and videos and everything designed to give you ideas of what to do and what you can try, including the 2022 guide to managing fibromyalgia. So I'll put all those links there. Here's the summary. There's a multitude of treatment options on offer. Some will help a little, some might help a lot. What helps one might not help another. But the best thing we can do is research, talk with our medical team, and give it a go. So there's a few certainties when we're looking at treating fibromyalgia. One is that it will require multiple options, probably natural and medicinal. Another one is that, again, what might help one person might not help another. So when I'm telling you things like low-dose naltrexone really changed my life, there are also people for whom it didn't help. Sleep is king. I need you to work on sleep. This is what all of the key fibromyalgia doctors say, and use medication if you must, which I know is difficult if you haven't got a doctor who's willing to prescribe. I've never had a doctor willing to help me with medicine. With sleep. Foggy brain, that's just what happens, man. But you can keep working on it and keep trying, but sleep is really important. And you can impact your quality of life. I want you to remember that. And that's why I create yoga and why that's kind of my key focus recently, because that is a tool that I can teach you. And once you know it, it is yours and you can use it anywhere, anytime. So for example, when I'm having a really bad flare, say the neck has gone crazy, the trigger points have gone crazy, and a migraine is coming, maybe the aura has already come and I'm starting to feel sick, I take my medicine, I take my heat pack, and I put on a yoga nidra guided meditation, and generally within a couple of hours I'm back up again, quietly and without too much light, back into life. So I'm not missing out on as much life now as I did before, and that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Like how long we are suffering from the worst of our symptoms. But again, you will probably need help. So you need a medical team, maybe a coach, maybe a partner who's really supportive, just some people to help you balance the journey and go through it. And that's what I provide through the studio. We have the exclusive members group, so it's the yoga and the training for like managing symptoms and putting plans in place, but also that exclusive group where we chat through things. I think that's really valuable and people find it really helpful. So if you can find a good support group, that will really help you. Now, on the question of is there a fibromyalgia diet, there are diets that people claim to help fibromyalgia. Now, I'm not a health professional and I have no nutritional background. In my personal research, my conclusion is that we do best when we avoid our personal intolerances and allergies, eat less junk and more vegetables. And this is trial and error like a lot of things, but I don't think that there is any benefit to making our life harder and restricting our food for long periods of time without good data. This is an area, if you really want to dive into it, it's good to get help. So we've talked about like the fact that not everything is going to help everybody. I do have a couple of books that I think will be really great that everybody will be able to take something out of. The first one is From Fatigue to Fantastic by Dr. Teitelbaum, and the other one is The Fibro Manual by Dr. Lipton. Now, From Fatigue to Fantastic was updated in 2020, so it's a little bit more updated. However, both protocols are pretty similar and have the same kind of foundational principles in mind, and I reread both of these regularly and always get a new snippet of something to learn. So they are definitely worth it. So in brief, what works for me, my whole of life protocol includes some key pillars, and I've got a lot more training available about this, so I'll leave that all below, and all of this information is in a free mini ebook, so I'll make sure that you get the link so that you can download that ebook and go through it one at a time and do some extra research. But we're talking low-dose naltrexone, recovery factor supplement, yoga nidra guided meditation and the rest of the yoga tools, and pacing. Using the energy you have well helps you create more energy and improves your quality of life when you get out of that boom bust cycle. Another thing you could look into is the central nervous system. Again, I've got so much more information, so download that free ebook, and that kind of talks to you about what the central nervous system is, what it has to do with fibromyalgia, how that means low-dose naltrexone helps, and how yoga helps, and it helps by being part of that central nervous system and calming it down. There's also a lot of natural treatments and remedies. I prefer natural treatments and remedies where possible. I'm not anti-medicine, I'm just pro helping the body keep functioning as well as possible and getting out of my own way. So that was a very brief overview of treatments and if there is a cure. I hope you've gotten lots of ideas. I hope that you have learnt that you can impact your quality of life. And again, take that free ebook and start looking at the different things and choose something to try and just try it. Now, if it's something like, medicinal or herbal or something with a bit more of a potential side effect, please talk to your medical team. It's always good, especially if you have a medical team who's willing to work with you. Otherwise, if it's something like try Yoga Nidra, get my free Yoga Nidra class and give it a go and see how it makes you feel. If you could do Yoga Nidra every day for the next 3, 6, or 12 months, I believe you would see such a good benefit for multiple reasons. So there's so much for you to try here, and I can't wait to hear that you've tried something and it has helped. So let us know your best treatment, the thing that has helped you the most, and I will catch you again next time.